Hey guys, Chris Ackland here from Iron Tribe Weightlifting. Today's video we're going to go over a circuit to help with your front rack mobility. Okay, so some points of performance that we want to see is we want the hands to be in line with our shoulders to slightly outside of them. Elbows are going to be placed on the bench. And then Grace is going to sit back, and as she sits back, her head is going to go through for us. Some of you may only get to in line with the bench, and some others that are slightly more flexible should be able to get their head even further through for us. Cool. The trick is for most of the stretch to be felt in the upper back. So I'll coach Grace to come back up. When she comes back up, she's going to pull her ribs down and brace. And she's going to try and use that brace to prevent her from arching her low back and to keep it mainly in the upper back. Cool, sit back, sit back. So that's a better position. So we want it to be an upper back stretch, and then hold, and then we'll do one more rep for the sake of it. And then when you get into that really deep stretch position towards the end of the repetition, I'd like to ask you to take 5 deep breaths in. So in through the nose, filling up that upper back. Think of it as a glass of water and you're trying to fill it up to the top, and then exhaling as you go out for us. Good. Trying to hold that position where it is and then breathe into the upper back without coming up too much. Good. And then one more. Strong exhale. Cool. And that's how we would do our preacher stretch with the hold. Alright, so the next exercise we're going to go through is all fours breathing with a slight sit back for us. So Grace is going to get into the position. We're going to go palms down for now. I'd request that her knees are slightly wider so that they're almost in the same position they would be if she was going to be squatting, because we want to think of the sit back as sitting into the squat. From here, she's going to take a deep breath into the upper back, and then as she exhales, she's going to keep the upper back really, really tall for me. Good, so she's breathing out, the ribs are dropping down a little bit, and then we would do 2 to 3 to 4 breaths. And then at the end of them, once we've got a really good stretch in the upper back, we would then sit deep into the squat for us, keeping our elbows pushing hard into the floor with our palms. Good. Awesome. And that's how we would perform our preacher, and that's how we would perform Dexy interrupting. Hello, Dexy, go. Off you go. Alright, so the next exercise is a press in squat, and we're just going to use a plate. The goal of this is to keep the elbows tucked in, and Grace is going to press it as high as she can until she feels a stretch. Now she's more flexible than me, so she'll get relatively high, she'll press up. And then when she gets to a point that's relatively tight, she's going to take 2 deep breaths in and long sighing exhales for us. Now the trick with the inhale is everyone's going to keep the inhale really short. I want you to inhale as if you're filling up a big glass of water, trying to stretch out that upper back as much as possible. Good. And then once she's done 2, she'll try and press a little bit further for us, keeping the elbows tucked in. They're going to want to flare as you go higher, but I want you to keep them tucked in for us. This is something that we stole from Dr. Quinn Hennick. Good, as you can see, she gets the shakes. One more. Big bit more inhale. And exhale. Press, press, press. Elbows, 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 eyes up. Good, and then relax there for us. Cool. So quite a tough exercise. So we'd recommend doing, say, 2 cycles of around 3 repetitions with 3 to 4 exhales per repetition. Cool. Alright, so the last exercise is just a plate-loaded front rack stretch. Another one we've stolen from Dr. Quinn Hennick. So Grace is going to get into her front squat position. Now if you're really, really tight, you may not get your shoulders to the bar. So we're going to demonstrate it as if you were tight, and then we're going to demonstrate it as if it's not too bad. So Grace is going to start quite low in her front squat position, and she's going to come up into the barbell. So from here, elbows are going to come forward, and then she's going to come up. Now, if you get to here and you've got a really, really good stretch, I would coach you on doing, say, 2 to 3 big breaths in and out. And then when you get to that last exhale, you'll then start to come up a little bit more and more and more. Now, if you're someone who doesn't quite have a front rack position, it might take you a few weeks to get into a more comfortable position, and that's fine. It doesn't need to be forced, it just wants to be earned over time for us. Cool. That's it, guys. Thank you so much.